to record. Good evening,
Hello,
everyone. I'm
hello.
giving everyone a couple of minutes to come in. If you can mute yourself if you're not speaking, please. I want to welcome everyone tonight. Okay. All righty then. So I know we have a few other people coming, but let's get started here. And okay. If you can mute yourself, unless you are speaking, that would be very much appreciated. All right. So, welcome everyone to Blockchain Consulting. Sorry, I double booked myself for some reason. I actually know the exact reason. It was because I failed to put my 7 o'clock webinar into my calendar when I booked this one. So everything is kind of mushing together tonight, but that's okay. I got my notes here. I want to welcome everyone tonight. This was overwhelming response for this idea of let's become blockchain consultants and trying to figure out what that is. My name is Cheree. I will say that not everyone here is a member of the Digital Underground. Some people are from the Black Coin group. Some people are from other groups out there. So this is a mixed group here, but we want to welcome everyone here tonight. So even though I'm leading and moderating this, I'm definitely not the leader of this group. I consider this more of a mastermind in terms of let's just try to figure out what this would look like. I just got off the webinar with a guy named Garen Williams, who I'm working with in regards to the blockchain stock and learning about cryptocurrencies. And one of the things we both agree with, that jobs are changing. There was a time when you could go to work for McDonald's when you were 16, 17 years old. In 5 years, those jobs will not exist. They are creating single-person McDonald's. They are creating autonomous driving cars. So if you think you're going to drive Uber in 5, 10 years, not going to happen. They are creating Amazon Fresh, these stores where they don't even need people to check people out of the store. These jobs are going away. And then I saw a video this weekend about an accounting firm. So there'll be these accounting firms that go in and do audits for these big Fortune 500 companies. And there was a time when they would need like 50 accountants to go in and audit a huge manufacturing company. Not anymore. They're gonna be reducing that workforce from 50 people to 10 people. This is about to get real. And if we don't have the skills to be able to get ahead of this, we're really going to be left behind. And when they say the rich get richer and the poor get poorer, this is going to be one of those circumstances. So this is kind of, me just saying, hey, what can we do around here to get the ball rolling so that we as a people and we as a community don't end up poorer because we weren't prepared. So that's the reason for this. I was overwhelmed by the number of people that signed up to be here. There were people that reached out to me and said, I can't come, but I'm registered and I want the replay, so they're going to get that. But, let's make this happen. I just have a few things I'll go over and then I'm going to open it up for everybody. I was talking with a mentor who makes about $30 million a year in his business. This was last week. And he said to me, Cheree, he does federal government contracts and I'm in the DC area. And he said, I've got millions of dollars of contracts that we can get from the federal government. And he hired a couple of blockchain consultants to fill a contract. There's going to be billions of dollars of federal government money that's going into this thing. And within our DC Digital Underground group, there was a woman there who she works for an agency, I won't tell you which one, who was saying, Cheree, there's so much money out here and we as the government don't even know what we need. And that's just the federal government. That doesn't include the state governments. That doesn't include all of these people that are hiring blockchain consultants. And that doesn't mean that you need to know how to code, but it does mean that you need to know how to strategize for companies and how to take that information and relate it to the developers that we would be working with. And for as much opportunity as there is in the government, there's a lot more in private industry as well. So what I wanted to do was show you like a quick 2-minute video that I found from Deloitte and Touche. Now the people are Irish, so their English accents are a little thick, but they also have the captions there as well. And then I want to show you something from PwC that I found, and something from a small company called MLG Blockchain. And then I'm going to open it up to get your thoughts in regards to this. So I'm going to share my screen really quickly with everyone. And let's see here. And I want to take you to this video and just throw in the chat for me if you can see my screen. It says, why choose blockchain for your career? Do you see that? Okay, I see people shaking their heads. Okay, good. All right, so let me make this big.
So I think our blockchain team here in Deloitte and the blockchain space in general is a fantastic place to start your career or focus your career. Blockchain is a cutting edge of disruptive technologies and therefore is a really interesting and dynamic space. In parallel with our technical delivery, we also offer end-to-end business support to our clients. And our journey really begins with our clients way before the engagement itself. We'd invite our clients to come to the lab and first of all, we assess whether in fact blockchain actually solve a particular problem that they would like to research. And then from that, we would identify a number of potential use cases for the store. And once they've decided what use case they'd like to focus on, the engagement would begin.
Our team is equally split between business and technologists. The business people are those who are going to design the business solutions of the client based on blockchain, remapping all the processes, etc. And then at that point, the tech team will take over. The CTO will bridge the gap between business and technology by showing the client what that really means to have a blockchain technology in-house.
There's also a huge opportunity for travel, and our team have been everywhere from Dubai to New York and right across EMEA, as we are in Dublin, the EMEA Blockchain Centre of Excellence. So we travel right across the globe, sharing our blockchain knowledge, education with member firms, and meeting new clients.
Okay, so that was that. One of the things that one of the gentlemen said was that the business people design the solution, then the technology people take over to actually implement it. So my thought process was, I'm not a developer. I don't really want to be a developer, but I'm looking at how I could design solutions for people. So this is PwC, and I'm just showing you these big companies just so you can see what's out there in terms of how they're thinking about structuring their divisions of blockchain services. So with this, they have their, the PwC has their blockchain division, and this is specifically for their financial group, but it could be for any of them. And it says here, how can my team and I learn more about blockchain? And they explain what blockchain is and how it's going to affect the world. And I'm sorry, if you are not muted, if you would mind muting yourself, we get feedback from somebody, please. Thank you. Is saying here, get practical advice on innovations, on which innovations are affecting you, how to implement a solution, and then PwC's blockchain practice can help you implement it. So this is what they're talking about doing for prospective clients. And then how and where can I use the blockchain? Who are my partners? So they talk about this proof of value opportunity assessment. These are the types of things that we could do as blockchain consultants in terms of analyzing their existing platform, assessing our clients' change portfolio, suggesting ways to optimize their products. So this is about knowing what's available out there, whether they should be using Ethereum network or Neo or things like that. Gauging the marketplace, which may include analyzing opportunities for partnering and acquisitions and the industry-wide case for change. And then evaluating blockchain solutions providers while recommending a roadmap for implementation. So again, there's no coding in any of this. This is the strategy and the thought process that these blockchain consultants are walking these big companies through. And eventually this will filter down to mid-sized companies, and then this will filter down to smaller companies. And eventually you'll probably have people that are healthcare blockchain specialists or manufacturing blockchain or food supply blockchain specialists, etc. So then they're asking, what is the impact of blockchain on my organization? So PwC designs a customized blockchain-based test that demonstrates both the viability of the technology while providing a mechanism to measure business impact. So things like analyzing functional and technical scoping, assess vendor solutions, developing rapid prototyping, measuring the case for change, and forging a path for implementing blockchain. So really you are like the center between the business client and the tech developers, and you kind of are the translator from one to the other. So the final thing that I will show you here is this company I found called MLG Blockchain Consultants. And here are some of the services that they provide. Now they say this is not a large company, obviously. They are expert blockchain consulting and development services company. And they say here, we provide a turnkey approach to an ITO, which I think is an initial token offering, but I'm not quite sure, and can walk you from the white paper, explainer video, and website to funding for a global integrated digital marketing campaign, enterprise partnerships for real-world usefulness, the crowd sale contract and security audit, liquidation to pay your team, and listing on leading exchanges. So what they're doing in terms of blockchain consulting is they're working with companies that want to do ICOs and what they call ITOs. Everything from marketing here, digital marketing, public relations, community management, strategic planning, blockchain architecture, developer training, executive training, all the way to token contracts, crowd sale contracts, security audits, contract deployment, smart contract development, wallets, all the way to token distribution, legal and accounting. This is the future here. And then all the way to the capital side where SAFT investment, that has to do with your accredited investors, angel investment, ITO liquidation, and capital management. So just like computer tech was, at least in my opinion, just like computer tech was, I would say 20 years ago, where you started off saying, I'm studying IT, but really you studied like some function of IT and you became really good at it. One of the things I'm finding is that people probably are going to become specialists in some certain part of the blockchain. And there's a lot of opportunities out there for all of us. I do think, and this is one of the things I've been reading, that we have to be willing to put in probably a year of study and apprenticeship, which may mean that you have to work for free on a couple of projects in order to learn this is a craft before you can go and actually start selling your services. So you kind of have to think, am I willing to do what it takes in order to get into this as an industry? But people that are blockchain consultants now are making six figures. So, and the more specialized you are, the more you probably can make. And I can't guarantee that, but that's what I'm finding. So I have here, key to success is knowing how to do this and maybe creating a training center for others in our community so that we can have a larger impact. Why can't we go to HBCUs and start, recruiting some of these young people and saying, hey, we're going to teach you how to do this? Why can't we do certain things in our community? There are a lot of people who don't have jobs in our community that can learn some of these things very easily. Or maybe not easily, but they can learn these things, and we can create these ecosystems where right now this industry is just hungry for people. And it doesn't matter if you're Black or white or Asian or whatever, they need us. They really do. So with that, I want to open up the conversation. If you want to unmute yourself, you can. And just give me your initial thoughts. If not, I'm gonna call on somebody that I know.
Can you hear me, Cheree?
I can hear you. Hi, Gina.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you tonight?
I'm well. I'm a truck driver and I'm in a moving vehicle, so I figure I had better go first while I still have a connection.
Okay.
I just want to say I think it's a great idea that you came up with this, and I'm happy to be here to participate. Before I started my research and looking into this, I reached out to Lamar Wilson because I just wanted to ask him what companies he thought might be good for, getting into blockchain consultings and any recommendations he had. And so what he told me is, as far as the consulting leg of things, it's relatively new. And what most of the companies are offering is they're offering more help from the development side. And the company that he did give me the name of, just in case anybody is interested, I wanted to put it out here. It was called Academy School of Blockchain. Lamar knows the CEO at this particular entity. And I went and watched their video on their website, and it really seemed like they had some revolutionary programs, but it is more geared towards those people who have some software development background. It almost made me want to go get some software development background so I could get in there and get in on what they're doing, but they have some wonderful course offerings. So in my research, when I was trying to find something about this consulting that we're looking to do, I was trying to determine what the title would be. And so I found some things on certified blockchain expert and certified blockchain professional. And those are some of the first things that come up in the searches. And so I know we were only supposed to come up with one, but there are several companies that offer courses in these two background things. It just depends on how in-depth you want to get. And they're not very long, these courses. Some were 5 weeks and some were just a few days, depending upon how much money you wanted to spend and how in-depth you wanted it to go. And so just for me, what I decided I would do is I would start with a free course just to get my feet wet. And the place I was looking at is called courses10.com. And the courses are free, but you have to pay $97 to actually get the certificate.
Okay.
And it's in an MOOC environment, which is massive open online course. So the courses are open, and the certification actually comes from the International Institute of Executive Careers, IIEC certification. And so what I determined that I would probably do for myself is a few of these little classes that are like $100, $200, 3 weeks, 5 weeks. I'm going to take some of them simultaneously to get my background knowledge built up a little bit in blockchain technology in this way, beyond what we learn in the Black Business School and the videos and things that we've had, so that I can make a determination as to how much, more investment I'll get, and maybe I'll be a little bit farther ahead if I get into something that costs a few $1,000s as I move
Mhm.
toward some serious professional certification. So courses10.com is where I determined that I would start with my training for the blockchain professional certification.
Great. And one thing I want to encourage us to do is, if there are 5 or 6 of us that want to take the same class, then why don't we take it all together, and that way we can kind of mastermind and, hey, did you understand that? I didn't quite understand that. And if you've got 4 or 5 people that get together and have study sessions, then number one, you'll probably learn a lot more. And number two, you probably will finish the course, because you won't get discouraged by, oh my goodness, I don't understand this. This is over my head.
I
The other,
absolutely agree.
yeah, the other thing I will say is, when I started doing my research, I found some courses too, and they said something like you have to know Python and a couple of other things in order to start that course. And I just went to YouTube and I saw like a 30-minute video that was like Python 101. Now, I didn't watch it just because I didn't have the time. But those are the types of things we can do together, even for free, to see if we want to even begin to take those types of courses. So I apologize, I have something on the stove, but if somebody else wants to go, I swear I'll be listening. I just need to go to the next room and turn the stove off. Anybody wants to go?
Hi, everybody. Can you hear me? Can anybody hear me? Okay, that's awesome. I'm Tahira. I'm here in Chicago. I'm part of the DU, and I also was very interested in the blockchain and finding out not just ICOs, but how to actively become a part of the blockchain, whether it's creating applications or just to have something more to do aside from an ICO. And so we're actually having a think tank here in March to talk about other opportunities on the blockchain and where we can get in. And so I'm very thankful for this opportunity, because this is very directive, and it's helping me to direct my own agenda to see more efficiently where we can go with the blockchain. And so I'm happy to be amongst all of you, and thankful for the program and thankful for the opportunity. So I hope to learn more. I would love to be a part of a study group or a meetup or an online where we could review a few programs, see which ones work for, different groups of us. Some of us may want to go into coding, and there are programs that I've also looked up that are more geared towards coding. And there are also programs that appear to be more geared towards smart contracts, which I think I might be more interested in. And so I did do my homework. And the program that I found, it was actually a website that offered 8 different programs. The one that stuck out to me the most, honestly, was because it would give you a certification from Princeton. I think it would be more reputable.
Wow.
Yeah, let me
So
scroll.
what's the name of the website you found?
The name of the website is Digital Defend, and that's DEFYND.com, and it gave you the 8 best blockchain courses. I always feel like there's no one thing fits for everybody. Some people are more tech savvy, and some of us are more administrative, and so this gave us 8 different programs. And the one that stuck out again was because it gives you the certification from Princeton. It is called Blockchain Certification, Bitcoin, and Cryptocurrency Technologies. And again, that will give you a certification from Princeton. I think that would carry a lot of weight. going forward. And so thanks for the opportunity, and I can't wait to learn more from you guys.
Great. And tell me, Tahira, you said the think tank is going to be where and when?
I'm here in Chicago. It will be March the 11th. We are looking for a venue that I don't have to pay for because I have been paying for meetups previously.
Yeah.
So we're looking for somewhere that may hold 20 or 30 people, whoever shows up. We've got about 30 who've RSVP'd, but we never know who will actually be in attendance. So,
right. Are you part of the DU?
I am.
Ask Charles if you can get that $100 credit towards a venue. I know it's not a lot, but it may help.
Yeah, I think there's a Hilton that we'd used last time. That's exactly how much it is. So I'll definitely do that.
Yeah, talk to him about it because he was offering starting in March to pay for our DU meetings. And he's right in Chicago too. He probably will drop in if he's in town.
I'll probably reach out to Jalea because I think Jalea is organizing the Chicago DU meetups. I was with her, Hollis, and a few other individuals last week. This week I'm in Houston, but I refused to miss this meeting. I was like, this is in alignment with what I'm thinking. I cannot miss this. This is helping me, further my own thoughts. There's no way I'm missing this. So I'm on vacation, but I am blessed to be in this room. So I refuse to miss this. And I had all type of technical problems, but hey, I'm here.
Oh,
so
God is good. So
all the time.
Yes.
Jalea and Hollis, and hopefully we can get that together. Thanks for the suggestion, Cheree.
Absolutely, absolutely. So I see Dwayne Samuel here has a raised hand, so I'll unmute you, Dwayne.
All right. Yeah,
Hey.
I got it. Yeah.
Oh,
hi.
yeah, you there. Hey.
That's interesting. I'm sorry I'm late. I'm driving, doing a whole bunch of stuff, but I'm sorry I'm late. Coursera has a bunch of courses that are geared towards Python. I did a Python bootcamp back in early 2016. Like it ended, like I spent it was a 16-week bootcamp. It was like 8 weeks in Costa Rica, early 2016. What I learned from there, because I wanted to code some some apps I was working on. But what I learned there is that it's a lot of work, So if you guys really want to do Python and stuff like that and really learn it, it's going to take you at least about 20 weeks. I have a lot of materials. I have all the materials from my bootcamp. I have where you would start if you're just thinking about this, and this is from experience. This is from the people that really did well in the boot camp. They did Python the hard way. That's a book by Zed Shaw, but it's Python the hard way. He just gives you a lot of exercises about repetition, because you're actually, when you're doing Python, it's more like human language to learn. But you still have to learn the command prompt. You got to learn, and then you got to learn how to deploy apps. You got to learn all of that stuff. But I think it will take about 20 weeks. Coursera has a certification. I think it's by the University of Michigan, if I'm not mistaken. That's not a lot of money, and it's real professors from real colleges and stuff like that. But if you're really interested in going that route, I would suggest that you do the Python the hard way first. And if you can do that on your own, then start spending the money, because coding is not for everyone. It's not, and you got to be a logical thinker. It's very easy. Python is one of the better things to learn because you can apply it in your work. If you have to work for a company, data analysis, that's what they use. Statistical analysis, scientific analysis, that's what they use. Python is a very strong language to use. And a lot of things are built on Python. Google uses Python for a lot of things. YouTube was built on it. There's a whole bunch of things that were built on Python. So if you're thinking about Python, that's a great way to go. In terms of the blockchain, there's a bunch of classes. There is a course, that you pay monthly, $19 a month. And they send me emails all the time. It's called, I can't remember the name, but when I get off of this, I'll set it up to you guys. But I think that one is, they send me emails every time. If I switch this, I don't know if I can see the name of it. I wonder if I could, if I looked at my email. But anyway, I'll send you that information too. But
Yeah, you send it to me.
Yeah, that was one I was really considering, and it's only $19 a month. So, if anyone was interested in getting that one, I think that one particularly, because they talk about different things, like different times they'll have, what's Cardano anyway? And then they explain exactly how Cardano works and why it's good and why it's not good, in addition to all of the regular blockchain stuff. So if you just want to wrap your head around the blockchain and really understand it on an intellectual level, not being able to code, but just understanding the blockchain in itself and how it works and proof of work, proof of stake, all of that stuff, then you can further your education and development if you follow these guys, because they show you how to code the smart contracts and Solidity. But again, Python is a coding language. All coding languages you have to understand computer science. You have to understand what loops are, what arrays are, what it's different, like 8 different things in all languages. They have it. Some are damn, I'm forgetting some of this stuff because I'm not doing it every day. That's the thing. Like, if you're deciding to do this, you should do it for at least 45 minutes to an hour every single day. Every day. Half an hour at least every single day. You're learning a different language. So that's what I would say on that. But I'll get all the listings of all these things that I know, and I'll send it to the group. But Coursera has a couple of good Python classes. But again, it's hard to do this stuff on your own. This is perfect if it's accountability partners and stuff like that. That's a great way to start. Mm-hmm. So that's my 2 cents right now.
Yeah, so maybe what we'll do, since we've been talking about getting on Telegram or something like that, maybe we will just take the plunge and start a Telegram group, and that way everyone can share, and then people can decide what masterminds they want to get into.
Well, here's the thing.
And get started.
Telegram might not even be the one you want to use. Maybe we might even consider Discord. Discord, we can make channels. So in Discord channels, you can have a general channel for and then you can make different hashtags for different things. So if you want to talk about Python code, if you want to talk about, and then we can have, so it's much better organized so people can find what they want to find in that, you just put a Discord and you could try that. It has a Windows app, it has a Mac app, it has the phone apps and everything syncs. So Discord is the way to go. It's better than Telegram. So Telegram is cute. It's nice, but Discord is the way to go. If you want to be well, if you want to if you want to be able to organize, it's better organized. It's like Slack. If you ever use Slack, it has those hashtags like Slack. I like Slack, but Slack, after a certain number of messages, they force you to pay and they start erasing the old ones. So yeah, so I think Discord for now, that might be the better thing. But Slack is good too, but then you incur costs. So
so we'll all get on Discord then and see how we'll work that out.
Yeah, cool.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much. And who's next? Yes, Dwayne, send me out. You have my Facebook Messenger, so send me all that stuff.
All right, cool. Thanks.
Thank you so much. Okay.
I have a question.
Who's next? Yes. Hey, Al.
Hey, how's it going? It's good to see you again.
Good.
And hello to everyone that's on. So I just have a quick question. Is the goal of this meeting to kind of come up with like a collective path forward where we say, us here, we're going to come together with a group and we're going to identify certifications and possible paths into industry to work as consultants or developers or whatever floats their boat? Or is this to kind of empower us to work individually within our various cities or anything?
I would love for us to figure out how to come together. I think we've already been trying to do things solo and it's not getting us anywhere. So when I talked about my mentor having access to all these government contracts, I'm not joking. I want to be able to go and say, okay, his name is Kevin. Okay, Kevin, you've got, literally, he has access to all of these contracts. I need you to go with me to get this $3 million contract so I can bring it back to the group. Those are the types of deals I'm trying to do in 2019. Okay. But I need to know that all of us are trained and are going to be able to perform when we go and get this cash from the U.S. government that they owe us anyway. right?
Right.
So,
Agreed. Okay.
but I can't go in there half stepping, and I can't go in
Sure.
there thinking, oh my goodness, I don't know if this group can perform or not. I need to be able to go in there saying, look, we're all African American. I can get my 8A certification. We can go under his government contract vehicles and basically be like, look, and $3 million in this town is like nothing. That's
Right.
like, oh, you're so cute. You're 12, aren't you? But $3 million coming into a community like this is like a lot of money,
Mm-hmm.
you know? But we have to be prepared for something like that. So Al, the answer is, I'm here to make money moves, like Dr. B says, but not Cardi B money moves. And I can't do it by myself.
Sure.
But maybe collectively, there's something that we can do.
Okay. Yeah, I was just asking because I'm right here in the DMV area with you. So I was just wondering,
Okay.
like, the next steps, what's kind of the path forward. And like you said, I wanted to work collectively as a group so we can come together and, like you say, make money moves and bring it back to our communities and empower our people and, help us out and get back with all of the things that we're owed anyway. So, yeah. Okay. That was my.
Yeah. And the truth is, I don't know all the answers, but I know that collectively, if we all put our head together, we could say, okay, remember I had that screen up with the MLG that said, here are all the things that they offer. Well, maybe we, have 6 or 7 things that we concentrate on offering. And we can say, okay, we're going to study these things for the next year. We're going to work with Lamar Wilson or Charles Wu or whomever we need to work with in order to apprentice on a couple of projects so that, we can be ready to go and do what we need to do. So,
okay. And just to brainstorm a little bit, just kind of throwing this out there. I know we're kind of early in the process, but if there was a way that we could almost help them with the execution, because that's where the government always fall apart. They'll come in, they'll have consultants, they'll set them up on these cute plans, but then when they leave, they have no idea how to move forward. So if we could package that, I think that would help us, kind of set us apart from, some of the Big 10 or the Big 12 accounting firms that are going to come in, like the Deloittes and the Accentures that are going to come in, because, that's what they're going to need. So just
right.
that out there, if we could specialize in that and kind of differentiate ourselves, hopefully, we can make it a recurring thing instead of a one-time contract.
Yeah. Well, I mean, in the government, you can get 5-year contracts like easily, and then just get them renewed as long as you don't mess anything up. You can get them renewed. So absolutely. But the game as well here. So, and the interesting thing within the DUIC, the Digital Underground Investment Club that we have, is we've got over 100 developers in that group. So the execution can easily flow to some of the developers that we have in that group. And then there are other young people in our communities that are looking for these jobs, and it would be a great opportunity for us to get them, if they need additional training, get them trained up as well so that they can take advantage of these opportunities. So
absolutely. It would be great to have that instead of our boys on the corner getting arrested for selling water during summertime. So
The last thing I'll say to you is we do have our DMV DU meetups, so you're more than welcome to come. I don't know if you're on our list, but if not, then email me. I'm sorry?
I said I was there the last time, so.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No problem.
I'm sorry. There were so many people in that meeting. I really do apologize. So.
But yeah, thank you. Thank you for mentioning that and keeping me in the loop.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll stop talking to everyone else when you get a turn.
Okay.
Bye.
Anybody else want to speak?
Sure.
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah, Victor. Hey. Yeah, you're a little low.
Yeah, sorry about that. I'm using the earpiece. Maybe I need to speak louder.
Yes.
How's that?
Better.
Yeah. So sorry.
Okay, try again, Victor. Can't hear you. Okay, maybe Victor needs to come back. Anybody else? Oh, here we got Victor.
All right.
Okay, yeah,
All right.
that's better. Good, perfect.
There you go.
All right.
So
so I just got off work, so I only got caught the tail end of it. But and I know there was a homework assignment prior to this discussion. Some of the things I did run into is there's a lot of different certifications out there. I'm just kind of wary because, you know, I don't even think blockchain has been out long enough for these companies to even be promoting these certifications. I mean, I don't know how you feel about that. And to be honest, since I'm learning more working on this actual ICO, because I'm working with the devs right now, putting the team together, getting everything in place. And I see myself learning more hands-on than doing these certifications on the side. In fact, I'm pretty sure after this ICO is done, I'll be able to certify people rather than go in and get
Good.
certified.
You know what? That's even better.
Yeah, and I'm thinking that's probably the way we should start looking at this, because we're definitely on the forefront. I don't think that we should be looking at this from the aspect of, you know, we're trying to find experts out here to show us the way, whereas just kind of get your hands dirty and kind of get in there. Because right now, on the Jarvis coin, I'll have to say we're kind of limited on talent, right? And when I've gone through some of the lists, especially with this one, for the DUIC, it's expensive, right? It's impressive. So many different talented Black people in one place. It's exciting. I love seeing that. So, Lynn, but yeah, I think yeah, that's my man right there. But yeah, I think there's just a lot of opportunity. I think if we're in a position where we want to become more efficient and be consultants, I think to stay on the path that we're on, and let's get involved with the coin. The Love token is almost complete. That was an ordeal, but I think we'll get through so much, because we're already talking about outsourcing and even looking for other people to kind of help us on the outside. But we have all this talent here within the organization, so I think there's plenty of opportunities, and more people that can get their hands dirty, I think the better. Just my 2 cents, anyway.
Yeah, no, I definitely do think we need to leverage both Charles, and I know that he has even more than just the Jarvis opportunity. In fact, I saw when I posted this, he said, you really want to have be an apprentice and have, you know, a couple of projects under your belt, and I have a couple of ideas. So if anything, Charles he's the idea guy. So we'll definitely have more than enough challenges with him. And then, and I mean that in a good way,
Right.
assignments. And then leveraging Lamar as well, and maybe some of the things that he's doing. So one of the things I did say earlier was that we need to kind of consider ourselves apprentices for a year and try to get at least 2 to 3 assignments under our belt before we really start selling our services, and being willing to do those first 2 for free.
Yeah.
But let's figure out how we can organize ourselves so that it does look cohesive, and it's not one person working over here and one person working over there. What I was trying to say was, if a group of people want to get together and take a class together, and then mastermind in terms of, you know, there are times when you just get stuck and you need to have a group of people that you can do assignments with. That is the whole point of this.
That's actually a good point. Yeah, I think that is a nice idea, Cheree. So, and I'll throw this out there again. For those that do want to get their hands dirty, we're literally in the middle of this project. If you're a developer, particularly front, back end, you don't even have to be a developer. If you're a QA, quality analysis, or a BA, we can use the help. So definitely get in contact with me. Like I said, I'm putting the teams together now, and we can go from there. That's a great entry into your apprenticeship right off the rip. So just kind of putting that out there.
So what were the two groups of people you need?
We need BAs, business analysts. We need
business analysts.
Okay. Yes, and quality assurance, or quality people that can test to make sure the application is going pretty well. We can use UI and UX. Those are user interface people on the front end. So they're interested. Definitely come on board. In fact, this Saturday, I'm kind of putting a rough Scrum session together, and it's just your basics. I just want to get people aware of what we're trying to do, and that'll give you, you know, some comfort going into this project if you are brought on board. So
And what time is it on Saturday?
I'll have to get back to you. I think it's going to be around 3 p.m. if I'm not mistaken,
Okay.
Pacific time. I could be off, but
Pacific, okay.
yeah, Pacific.
Well, you
Standard.
know, you and I will connect, and then when you have that information, let me know, and I'll blast it out to the group.
Okay.
We're thinking about getting on Discord or Telegram, but I was hearing that Discord may be a better place for us so that we can kind of team up.
Yeah.
And get organized around this. And I will say this to everybody who came in late. This is a mastermind. I don't necessarily consider myself the leader of this. I just wanted to explore this as a possibility, but I'm definitely not the empress. So if you have suggestions, please let me know, because I'm going to be kind of pilling around with all of you, trying to figure out what's the best way for us to organize this. So other people that want to talk, we have another 10 minutes. Other people that want to talk.
I want to say something.
Hey,
Hi,
Dr.
everybody.
Keisha.
Hello, yep, it's Dr. Keisha. I'm seeing exactly the same things many of you are seeing with regard to the need for developers. And truly, I know I'm 50 years old, so I remember coming in with an interest in computers, and everything was like Fortran back when I started. So, but I'm so not a developer, so I'm really interested in this end of it, consulting in particular. But I'm going to put into the chat area though here something I'm seeing that has a comprehensive bit of information in it, videos, all types of things like that. Blockchain, MIT.edu, a lot of information all in one spot that could kind of onboard, somebody like me, really, and maybe others that kind of go over some of the overall stuff. So even if we got into some of the things that like Victor was saying, because I absolutely agree that that's the better way of doing things. I mean, my goodness, I've gone all the way through education, and it's not even about all of that. You really need to have, a portfolio of work, to show what it is. And that's what I would really be interested in, being a part of a group who would allow somebody like me to onboard, but seriously, I'm like so not a coder, I already know. So, yeah. But I, definitely open to learn and get in where I could fit in, kind of thing. But I like this page though from MIT. It's got a lot of information just to kind of be able to understand the speak, and
if you can speak up, Dr. Keisha, you kind of went down.
I'm sorry. Oh, okay. I think I have my speaker. But yeah, so are you able to hear me better now?
I can hear you better now, yes.
Okay. Yeah, so so anyway, like I said, I did put in the chat space, the blockchain MIT information that has a lot of things that could probably get us all on board and at least kind of, be able to speak the stuff. And they speak to things in here that are, overall how things work, that kind of thing. Maybe many of us may know different things about this, but what I was saying too was that I really would be interested in onboarding with somebody to work on a project. So if we can identify those projects, that would be really great. I think that's important.
Well, Dr. Keisha, I know that you do instructional design and things like that. So the explainer videos and all of that, and bringing that into the community. I know that you hopefully are going to be working with the DUIC in terms of our education committee.
Yes, and I have to say with regard to that, I kind of bring some unique talent to that because I'm a special education teacher of over 25 years. So I'm always taking, complex information and breaking it down. Okay. Making things visual, that kind of stuff. So, again, I need to have an understanding so I know what I'm breaking down, but certainly if somebody's bringing me something and then I can break it down to make it understandable to others, I can definitely work from that place. But right now I'm learning it all myself as well. So. Yeah,
so when Victor was talking about making our own courses and things like that, where we can just within our own community, we bring someone in, we're like, look, if you want to be a blockchain consultant, You know, maybe you are working with Victor and Lynn and a couple of other people on some things that we can just kind of break this stuff down, and anybody that wants to come in our ecosystem,
Yes, that I can
you
definitely
know, yeah, they can get this information. And you and I both know when you have to teach, you learn it so much more.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. So that's kind of that would help, funnel all this information down. So if somebody's finding something and I'm creating that information, I got you on that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
well, I want to thank you so much for speaking up, and we definitely going to be using your talents.
Oh, good deal. Good to know. All righty. I'm going to sign off, and I see I got another special ed teacher in there too. Yay. All righty.
Oh, yay. Oh, yeah, Tangi. Hey.
Okay.
Yes, I have seen Tangi in the classroom, so I did know she was a teacher. So.
Oh, okay.
And then someone else wrote that I'm a facilitator. You're very sweet. So, yeah, I will take that. I'm a facilitator.
Yeah, you are excellent facilitator. Yes. Thank you so much for hitting us this all up, because this spoke to me. I'm like, consultant. Okay, I got that. I just got to figure out where I fit in. Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Monopolize the time. All right.
And I will say, as people of color, and especially as women, that we have a special place, and we probably, because we're so underrepresented as women and as people of color, there are probably opportunities and things that we can get into that that people would welcome us with open arms, or just different opportunities that would be available to us. So that's just another thing I'm thinking as well. How can I bust through some of the the things that are happening in terms of, Charles called it a WASP, white Anglo-Saxon Protestant, which is what we see a lot in the industry. How can we bust through that? And so I think we can do it. So we've got 5 more minutes left. So anybody else, final person that wants to speak, give your homework. If not, I'm going to ask Lynn to come in as our Secretary of DUIC. Yeah, Lynn, why don't you come on in?
Howdy.
Howdy, how you doing?
Not too bad. Pardon the noise in the background. That's one of my minors.
Okay, it's fine.
No, I'd just like to say that after spending 30 years in IT, I'm looking forward to not being the only one in research and design in the company. The more of us, the better. I've always said from the very first day I've been in IT, which is back in the Pentagon days, not enough of us, little to no women, virtually no black women. I've not had the pleasure, unfortunately, of actually working with a black woman in R&D over the past 18 years I've been in R&D. But this space will give all of us an opportunity to finally fill those slots, I think. But it does take a lot of work, a lot of study, a lot of reading, a lot of trial and error. As Victor said, I found in my 30 years the best way I've been able to learn and get underneath stuff is by actually doing it. I think Samuel said before, when it comes to technology, we have a saying in IT, if you don't use it, you lose it. But I'm sure that probably applies to other fields too. But since we're here talking blockchain, it also applies. So I think it's a fantastic idea to mobilize our family here, that we have even here online, and to start to move as one into this space rapidly.
Yeah.
But we've got a lot of groups, a lot of Facebook, a lot of opportunities, before us that we can all take care of and all get involved with. And I'm looking forward to working with, everybody here, within everybody's schedule and time frames, to move all this forward. Because I think this is a fantastic opportunity. I remember when I was putting in internet super hubs for UNet back in '95. I was 23, 24 maybe back then, and I had no idea what I was doing. That it would spawn, the Googles, the Yahoos, and I told myself, years later that I would never miss another opportunity like that again.
Mm-hmm.
And here we are. So we have to get on this and quickly.
Absolutely, absolutely. So with that, it is the hour. So I'd like to have everyone in the chat tell me if Mondays at 8 p.m. work, because I would like for us to have a weekly meeting for the next several weeks as we get organized and figure out what our true path and direction is. And then we can always, go and speak with Lamar, speak with Charles and say, here's some things we're thinking of. How does that work with some of the projects that you have? I definitely want to leverage Victor because you know a lot of what's happening in there as well. So people are saying, sounds good, Monday at 8 p.m. works for you. Good. Why don't we keep that then? What I would love for us to do, I'm going to work on getting Discord up in the next couple of days. I will email everyone when it's up. We all get on the platform, and then let's kind of figure out what, a little bit more about what we want to do. I feel like I need to take a course in something just so I can have some basic education. So maybe some people want to take some of the courses I'm taking, and then others, if you want to do other types of development or things like that, we can figure out how to get organized. And in the next, I would say, month, really get the ball rolling. And I would say within 2 months, we can even be working on a project. That's kind of the thought process that I have with this. And Curtis, I see you talking. You have something to say?
Oh, I didn't know I hit the button. I'm sorry.
Oh,
Well,
okay.
I will say something. It's good to see like-minded people, want to pursue their goals and get education. And I'm looking at everybody right now, and what I see is future millionaires. We all gonna make it. 2018 grind mode. And, just keep pursuing your dreams.
Perfect. So with that, I'm going to wish everyone a wonderful week, and we'll be back here next week at 8 p.m. Eastern. And, we'll just move forward. I'll also send homework to everyone, but it'll probably be a little bit more of signing up for Discord, and then all of us just kind of figuring out how we want to assemble. So that's it. Thank you so much, everybody, and I hope you have a good evening. And I'll read your comments here really quickly because I don't want to miss anything. Oh, Shalitha's saying that she's going to reach out to some of her former coworkers at Deloitte and KPMG. Perfect. Thank you, Shalitha, sorry. Okay, everyone. Recorded session, Erin, I will send that out. I'll send that out. Give me a few hours, though, because it takes some time for it to render. So, okay, everybody, good night.